sooner you take action,
Hey guys, good morning, good morning. My name is Brian Craig. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And we're going to be on the radio in just a couple minutes. 1 second here. And what I'm going to start with today is, this. I know a lot of people say LeBron James. Who cares what LeBron James says? He's an overpaid guy. No, there's something big going on here with the Democrats and the police, and I'm going to talk about that when we get on the air. And it's something that I think people are so caught up in these particular incidents, they're not seeing what the Democrats' big picture is with the police. So I'm going to talk about that, and this thing with LeBron James, very important with that. Now, listen, make sure you're subscribed. If you're already subscribed, check and make sure you are subscribed, because I've heard from some people who they told me they thought they were subscribed, and then all of a sudden they weren't getting notifications, and then they checked and they were not subscribed. So go and check that out, guys. I would appreciate that. And here we go.
By Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Hey, everybody in the chat, just quickly, I can't go through them all, but tell us where you're from. Oh, Tim K, $25 super chat. Good morning, Brian. When will this madness end? Never. Why don't people listen to the police? Because they're outlaws. That's why. Thanks for that super chat. Everybody, thank Tim K. Hey, guys, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday morning already, April 22nd, 2021. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are live on the radio Monday through Friday from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And we broadcast on AM 1470, 96.9 FM, and 95.3 on the FM radio dial. So check us out over there. I listen mostly on 95.3 FM, by the way. You can also listen to us on the iHeart Radio app. Just search for us by our station call letters WWNN. And of course, we live stream with a very opinionated chat room and live real time while we're on the air on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. I upload a lot of content to my YouTube channel, including my podcast. We're live on the radio every morning. If you miss a part of the radio show, you can catch it on YouTube. And I upload a lot of other content too as I travel around and do things. I put a lot of content up there. Brian Craig on the YouTube. Okay. We're going to talk about this business with LeBron James and this tweet. And I was telling people, right before I went on the air here a minute ago, I was talking to people off the air, and I said, people say, I know a lot of people say, who cares what LeBron James thinks? He's some overpaid guy who's not all that bright, and who cares? He's an influencer over many, many people. Me personally, not only have I never seen LeBron James play basketball, I have never watched a professional or college basketball game. The only basketball games I've ever seen are, I think I saw one in high school. That was about it. And I did play a little bit when I was a kid. Play a little basketball with my friends. But that's about it, okay? And the only thing that I truly can tell you that I ever liked or cared about with LeBron James, I was very upset when LeBron James left Miami, because at the local convenience stores, at all the when LeBron James was with the Miami Heat, at all the gas stations in South Florida, you could get LeBron James Sprite. LeBron James had his own, not just his own Sprite, he had his own, it was his own flavor. And it was very good. Oh, man, I love that LeBron James Sprite. And you can't get it anymore. At least not here. I don't know. Where does he play? I don't even know what team he's on now. I don't even know what team he's on. Okay, I don't care about LeBron James. I don't care about sports. But I do miss that LeBron James Sprite. Did anybody else have that LeBron James Sprite? If you know where I can get some, let me know. And if you know where I can get some Zima, too. Zima and LeBron James Sprite. 2 drinks that I loved that you can't get anymore. But there's a big picture going on here with the Democrats and the police. And LeBron James, you may not care what he thinks. I certainly don't. But he's an influencer among a lot of people that the Democrats are trying to cater to. And the Biden Attorney General, this Garland character that Obama wanted to put on the Supreme Court. Oh man, did we get so lucky that this guy didn't get a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court because he's a very left-wing lunatic. So the Attorney General, Biden's Merrick Garland, Attorney General, they're doing a federal investigation through the Justice Department of the Minneapolis police. I don't know what their beef is with the Minneapolis police. They had an incident, the George Floyd incident. All the cops fired, all the cops facing prosecution. One of them right now, Derek Chauvin, is in a maximum security prison, and his own police force turned on him, including the chief of police who testified in the Chauvin trial, which is unheard of. I've never seen a police chief testify before. Have you guys? I'm sure it's happened, but I've never seen it. So, and it's a Democrat town, a Democrat police force, a Democrat state, a Democrat county. So, the justice system worked. There was no injustice in the Chauvin case. Unless you talk about the jury intimidation. But what I'm talking about is the police themselves. Guys in prison. Again, I'm not debating, and that's old news to talk about what happened with him and George Floyd. We're talking about what's going on now. What's new, with an S on it, news. Not old news, new news. So why are they investigating this Democrat police department in Minneapolis? Biden's Justice Department, in this Democrat city, in this Democrat county, in a Democrat state? Well, two reasons. One, because they're Democrats, they'll cooperate and welcome it in because they're stupid. But originally, when all this stuff was going on, I thought, well, the Democrats have lost a lot of black voters, right? Since Trump came down the escalator, the Republican Party, the MAGA movement, is very ethnically diverse. A lot of blacks, a lot of Hispanics, and originally I thought, well, this is about that. Now I realize there's a bigger picture. And by the way, I welcome your calls on all of this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. The Democrats are doing more than their typical race-baiting division. What the Democrats are moving towards is nationalizing the police force, I believe. They want to nationalize the police force and have federal control over local law enforcement. That's what's going on here. They've been saying for a long time that racism is a national health crisis. Derek Chauvin, I promise you, is a Democrat, as are the other cops. It's a Democrat town. These are government workers. They're probably all Democrat. If Derek Chauvin was a Republican, you would have known about it, I promise you. Okay? I promise you he was a Democrat. But they're looking to nationalize the police force, which is the last thing you want. Now, I got to tell you, this incident, we talked about this in Columbus, Ohio. We were a little ahead of the game on that one, weren't we, on the show? Oh, yeah, everyone's talking about it now. You and I, we were talking about it yesterday. Some of this nonsense that's coming out in this Columbus, Ohio shooting is insane. People have been saying, prominent liberals have been saying, Democrats, Valerie Jarrett, and others have been saying something that this is shocking for me to hear, that the cop was wrong and that they were just doing what girls do, and that it's very common for teen black girls to be involved in knife fights. By the way, is it a knife fight if only one person has a knife? To have a knife fight, don't you both have to be armed with a knife? But forgetting about that, have you seen this? And there's people all over Twitter saying that this is typical behavior of young black girls are having knife fights. Now, when I was a kid in school and grade school through high school, I saw a lot of fights, sometimes even girls. I've never seen a knife fight before, quite honestly. among anyone. This is insane to me. This is how far the left have gone. The girl in question, with the knife, her intended victim, the girl in the pink, she survived, luckily, because of the cop. The cop saved that girl's life. I know you've all seen the video and everything now. There's more body cam footage that's been released. One of the officers is talking to the girl that was saved by the police officer, the one who was going to be stabbed, looked like possibly in the jugular vein, by the girl with a knife, the girl in the pink. She told the cop she was going to stab her with the knife. That's why the cop shot her. It's on one of the body cams. The audio just came out overnight. Which means she believes her life was saved by that cop. Don't you believe that the police officer saved the life of the girl in the pink? You know, and I'm also hearing something that's just so stupid. A lot of people, somebody even asked the chief of police of Columbus, Ohio yesterday this question. Did you see the press conference with the chief of police? People have asked the chief of police, and they've been saying this on the air, that the cop should have shot the knife out of the girl's hand. Should have shot the knife out of the girl's hand, they're saying. The police chief gave a great answer. You know, they're trained when they have to use deadly force, which is something very few police officers do, and they certainly don't enjoy doing it. They live with this forever. That they're trained to go for center mass because that's safest for those around. There was an attempted murder in progress taking place. This officer stopped. And if you go for the knife, it's very difficult. These are not, you know, I know this. They're saying that he was a marksman in the service or something. But the knife is a very thin and small moving target. It's almost impossible to hit. You would have to be the American sniper to even have a chance to hit that, and I don't even know if he could have done it. But the police chief said to this idiot in the media, in the press conference, he says, we train the officers to go for center mass because you don't risk missing as much and wounding and hitting innocent bystanders. If he would have gone for that knife, if he would have gone to shoot the knife instead of her, even if he hit the knife would not have been enough to stop the bullet. The bullet would have continued in some direction, and bullets don't stop until they hit something. So no, I mean, the stupid comments that are coming from the media, from prominent, if you can call a Democrat prominent, from prominent Democrats, is insane here. And I was very glad to see that the girl in pink agrees that officer saved her life. This guy, hopefully he'll be clear. Now here's another thing, then we'll break, and I'd like to take your calls on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Here's another question for you guys. A couple questions here, and then we'll break. There seems to be a lot of complaining from African Americans nationwide about police in their neighborhoods. I want to hear from black people who live in black neighborhoods. Now, I don't live in a white neighborhood. You might think because I'm white, I don't live in a white neighborhood. My neighborhood is so diverse. There's so many ethnicities in my neighborhood. I don't even know what some of the people are. I know it's a very diverse neighborhood. But I'd like to hear from people that live in black neighborhoods. Do you want the police there in your neighborhood? Because all I'm hearing in the news is how terrible the police are in these black communities. Should the police be pulled out of these neighborhoods? Is that what they would like? What does Black Lives Matter want? What does Sharpton want? Well, we know what Sharpton wants, money for that jet. But should police pull out of black neighborhoods? Would that make the community safer? My understanding is in this Columbus, Ohio incident that the police were called by the people in that house. The original story, now these things could change because things change, was that police were called by the girl with the knife that was going to stab the girl in the pink. Oh, so do you want the police in your neighborhood? Do you think the police should withdraw from black neighborhoods? Or maybe should only African American officers be patrolling black neighborhoods? I don't know. What is the solution that you have here? I think the solution is stop doing crime. People that don't do crime don't have run-ins with the police, and these things don't happen. But that apparently is not one of the solutions on the table, is to get people to stop doing crime. The cops are the criminals in their world. Also, one last thing. When's the last time you saw a news story about Daunte Wright, the lady cop incident? This occurred to me just as I was speaking to you about this. It just popped in my brain. I brought it up now because I don't want to forget. I haven't heard a story about Daunte Wright in a week. Have they uncovered something about Daunte Wright that they don't want people discussing, like he was wanted on that very serious hardcore warrant? Why has that case disappeared from the media with the lady cop, Brooklyn Center? I know we were talking about Maxine with the mob there and everything, but I haven't heard anybody talk about Daunte Wright or the lady cop by name. It's always been things around it since the last week or so. What's that about? All right, listen, we're going to take our first break. My name is Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take that first break, and we will be right back after this, I promise you.
Have you gone without insurance?
Hey guys, again, those of you that are new, make sure you're subscribed. And I got some messages from people that told me they weren't receiving notifications when because I did a live stream last night, and I heard from some people overnight that they didn't get any notifications. And I talked to a couple of them. They thought they were subscribed, and they were not. So even if you think you're subscribed, check and make sure you're subscribed, and you got those notifications checked, all right? Yes, this is Iron Man.
It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. This special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. On the line, we have our estate planning attorney, Barry Siegel. Hey, Barry, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you in the world of estate planning and elder law going?
The world of estate planning and elder law is very busy. A lot of people are concerned about protecting their assets, making sure they leave a legacy to proper way for their loved ones. I had a lady come in this past week. The issue she was having was she had a husband who has Alzheimer's, and she had to quit her job. Her son had to quit his job, and they were caring for him essentially 24 hours. So the income, of course, is down. They're worried about spending down their assets eventually on having to pay for some outside care. And anyway, they were very relieved when they came in to find out that we're going to be able to get him qualified for Medicaid. They want to, at least for the time being, of course, they want to keep him home as long as they can. But they're going to be able to keep him home, get him care. Likely Medicaid will provide about 40 hours of care every single week, which will free them up and will help them also protect their assets. And they really had no clue. Somebody at one of the Alzheimer's organizations that they go to for support had referred them, and they were in disbelief. They had no idea that they could have gotten all of this help but not have to spend down their assets. So I know there are a lot of people in the same situation who just are unaware that planning is available and available to help protect their time, protect their assets, and their peace of mind.
Yeah, and this Medicaid planning, Barry Siegel has an entire team at his law office that specialize in this and do this all day, every day, and it's a very complex thing that they have an expertise in. You want to give them a call, and so many spouses, Barry, they spend all their assets taking care of their husband, taking care of their wife, and then they pass and they're left with nothing. And sometimes they even sell their home. That's not necessary. Call attorney Barry Siegel, a free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. His number, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3788. too. And of course his
all right, we're coming back.
SiegelLawGroup.com, a brand new updated website that you want to check out as well. Attorney Barry Siegel. All right, Barry, we will talk later in the week.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, 22 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. All right, so LeBron James tweeted really a threatening tweet about this hero police officer from Columbus, Ohio. And, you know, again, remember, this police officer in Columbus, Ohio, I know people are saying it now. I said it first yesterday. I think I was the first person anywhere in this country to say this, at least publicly in the media. This cop is a hero. He saved the life of the other girl who was about to be stabbed. And LeBron James, he's deleted it, and I'll talk about his explanation in a bit, but people walk back things all the time when they screw up. LeBron James, hey LeBron, can you, if you happen to be watching on YouTube or something, could you send me some cases of that LeBron James spray? He tweeted a photograph of the police officer in the Columbus, Ohio shooting. And he tweeted this: "You're next, hashtag accountability." You're next? The hell does that mean? And immediately Twitter blows up over King James here. That's what he calls himself, King James, and on the Twitter. And he deleted the tweet. And he came with an explanation. And here's a story on it. Earlier today, LeBron James put a target on the back of the Ohio police officer who shot KhiaBryant on Tuesday evening. Bryant was moments away from brutally murdering another woman with a knife. The officer shot her 4 times. Without acknowledging any facts of the case, LeBron James threatened the officer with 2 words in all caps: "You're next." LeBron James took down the post after 40 minutes, and now he has told the world his excuse for why he deleted the tweet. And this is what LeBron James said: "Anger does none of us any good, and that includes myself." Now, what is he angry about? LeBron James should be giving this guy season tickets. Remember, the officer, I'm sorry that he's white, but he saved the life of the other girl. But anyway, LeBron James, he's angry that a life was saved, I guess. What else could he be angry about? "Anger does none of us any good, and that includes myself. Gathering all the facts and educating does, though. My anger still is here for what happened, that little girl." He said that, L-I-L, girl. "My sympathy for her family, and may justice prevail." He said this in a first tweet. This is LeBron James. But he was on a Twitter rant. Then he tweeted again: "I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police." Well, I don't like to see anyone killed by anyone, okay? I'm pro-life. You know, I'm so pro-life. I know a lot of conservatives disagree with me about this, but I'm even opposed to the death penalty. I'm so pro-life. Okay? But anyway, "I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police," LeBron James tweeted. "I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. This isn't about one officer, it's about the entire system, and they always use our words to create more racism. I am so desperate for more accountability," he added in another tweet. The anger, and there's no discussion going on here about how did this was not a knife fight. Everyone's calling this a knife fight on the left. This was not a knife fight. This was like, would you consider O.J. Simpson with Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson a knife fight? He killed them both with a knife. It wasn't a knife fight. It was a murder. It's only a knife fight if the other person has a knife too, and they're fighting. That's a knife fight. When one person has a knife, like this girl did in Columbus, Ohio, or O.J. Simpson, and they go after unarmed people, that's not a knife fight. And by the way, even if both girls had a knife, this one was making the stabbing motion towards the neck. But there was only one knife. This was not a knife fight. Stop calling it a knife fight. Unless O.J. Simpson was a knife fight too. And I've never heard anyone refer to the O.J. Simpson double murders as knife fights. And, you know, Ron Goldman, he was killed by O.J. because he came upon O.J. while he was killing or just had killed Nicole. And it's been a long time since O.J., but I remember there were all kinds of cuts on his arms and everything, defensive wounds. Now maybe some of you consider, maybe somebody can ask Valerie Jarrett this and others, was O.J. Simpson involved in a knife fight with Nicole Brown Simpson? Was O.J. Simpson in a knife fight with Ron Goldman? He must have been by this new standard they have. See, this is the thing. This is pure 150% bigotry towards cops. White cops in particular. Maybe white people, I don't know. You know, a lot of people say, you know, you MAGA people, you guys will defend Trump no matter what he does. Well, Trump's done nothing wrong, ever. From the time he came down the escalator to right there, here in this moment in time, President Trump has never did anything wrong. I've never criticized Trump. I never will. He's never done anything wrong. But in this case, I would say that the left and African Americans who are liberal, they think that black people can do no wrong when there's a white police officer involved. So, what's going on here? And what's you know, we're talking about this is a scary thought. During the time of President Trump's presidency, we had COVID and we had lockdowns and everything, but the country was really united quite a bit. We have a new administration, the Biden-Harris administration. They don't call it the Biden administration. Did you see also they formalized Kamala's husband's name, that he will no longer be referred to as Doug. He's now to be referred to as Douglas. They're all into propaganda and word games up there. But anyway, in 100 and some days, we have complete division in every aspect of our lives in this country. And we have leaders in the White House who are taking the side of the bad. Jen Psaki said yesterday that Michaela up there in Columbus was shot because of systematic racism. It was my understanding she was shot because she was about to stab another girl in the neck, who was unarmed, by the way. That's systematic. Where's the systematic racism there, Jen Psaki? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and I'll go right to our phones after this break. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is
Be right back, guys.
The owner of LaPorta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
All right, we're coming back, guys.
By Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law
Oh.
Group. 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables.
Interesting.
Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, 32 minutes after the hour. You know, Tom Laporta over there at Laporta Contracting, I mean, he just does great work, and he's a big Trump guy, just like you out there. And, yeah, I know, isn't that great? Yeah. And you want to call him for that free inspection. Hurricane season's right around the corner, June 1st, but it's been raining a lot, and you want to make sure that your roof is not leaking like Steve Kane's was before that hurricane hits, before the heavy rains come. You know, hopefully we get lucky and don't have any hurricanes, but I'll tell you this, there will be rain and lots of it, and there will always be tropical storm force wind gust and everything else, even if we don't get hit by a major storm. So, you know, call Tom Laporta, check it out. Also talk to him about impact windows and hurricane shutters. I have both, and I remember when I got hurricane shutters, which are great to have in a hurricane, but if we got hit by 2 hurricanes in a row when I first got my shutters, and I couldn't see out of the house. And when a hurricane comes over, it sounds like a freight train's coming by your window for hours. It's not a lot of fun. And I got impact windows. And impact windows are wonderful because you can see outside, and it makes the hurricanes a lot easier to get through when you can see outside what's going on. You really can. In fact, if you're on hold standby, I'll get to the phones in just a moment. When we had our last hurricanes a couple years ago, some of you that were listening back then will remember this. I had 2 50-foot tall ficus trees in my backyard. And thank the Lord I have impact windows to look out in the backyard because they both were torn down during the hurricane. And one of them was right outside my back door, and we could see for quite a while because we had impact windows. The tree was getting ripped up by the roots. And both 50-foot trees fell away from my house, but I didn't know that. Once that wind's going, they can fall any which way but loose. And it would have fallen, if it hit my house, it would have fallen on my kitchen and living room area. So since we were watching it, we were able to move everyone to the other side of the house. And when the trees came down, and luckily they fell on other people's houses, actually, not mine. They fell on 2 of my neighbors' houses, and they were plenty pissed, I'm here to tell you. But if I didn't have the impact windows, I wouldn't have known that the trees were even going to fall. And I did. And I was able to make sure that we were all on the safer side of the house, because if that tree would have hit in the house over the living room or kitchen and we were there, someone would have been dead probably, certainly hurt very bad. And you can't get 911 to come to the house during the hurricane force winds over your house. So talk to Tom Laporta about impact windows so you can see out during the storm. All right, let's go to the phones. Oh, but let me give his number. Don't want to forget that. The most important part, to call him, you need to know the number, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, online, LaportaContracting.com. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, it's Mike.
Mike in Boca. How you doing, Mike in Boca?
Pretty good. Yeah, these people, I call these people the elites in the mainstream media. Every one of them had something to say yesterday. And basically they were all anti-cop. They were all for the motherly woman as her mother. But she was a motherly girl. She was an honor student. And that knife, she just got the biggest knife out of the butcher block. That's a pretty big knife.
Yeah. Have you ever heard someone describe O.J. Simpson's killing of Ron and Nicole as a knife fight? I've never heard that before.
No, but it's funny you mention him because he tweeted that the Chauvin trial, they got it right. I mean, this is just, everything is so demented and twisted these days. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Did you read Valerie Jarrett's tweet? You got to read her tweet.
Yeah, obviously you weren't listening since 6, but that's okay. I'll forgive you. You get to. Valerie Jarrett said that black teen girls get in knife fights all the time. This is part of growing up. Is knife fights? Yeah. What is that about?
I don't know. She's insulated with millions of dollars around her. She's probably got security beat up.
All of them do. All of them do. Yeah.
The woman from The View, the good-looking one, the lawyer. I don't know her name.
You consider her good-looking? Sunny. Sunny is her name. You consider her good-looking? When you say the good-looking one on The View, is there a good-looking one on The View?
Well, she would be my only pick. I mean, come on.
I mean, if they were the last women on Earth, and you had to pick one of them to mate with, it would be her, Sunny. It wouldn't be Whoopi Goldberg? Really, you pick her over? You would pick her over Meghan McCain?
Yeah, I'm looking at aesthetics. I mean, yeah, yeah, like what?
Okay.
She said that her 18-year-old son, she feels that he's safer because right now he's visiting. He's in South Africa now. And they just mentioned in the news the last couple of weeks, but South Africa is one of the most dangerous places right now to live at. The murder rate is an average of 50 to 60.
You're the second caller that's called me about South Africa. Who's talking about South African crime all the time now? Richie called me about. Are they talking about it on Fox or something? I mean, I don't understand the relevance. South Africa is a third world country. Why do people keep talking about the crime there? George, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank George. I don't like the leftist tactics, but they work, no doubt. We deplorables have power based on how we spend our money and who we spend it with. Let's start there. That's very true, George. Everyone thank George. Thank you, George, for that $5 super chat. I don't know why everyone's talking about the South African crime rate. It's always been a third world place, even during apartheid. It's never, and everyone's talking about South African crime. I don't see the relevance.
Well, I think it's the fact that woman said that it's safer than United States. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know this. That a police officer in Columbus, Ohio, saved the life of the girl in pink. And he's a hero. The girl, one of the evening news broadcasts, I forget which one, they showed the incident, okay? And they did an edit so you couldn't see the knife in the girl's hand going toward, yeah.
Well, the police yesterday, they put out, I sent you the tweet, I don't know if you saw it, but they put out the whole 12-minute video of beginning to end, him in the car, him driving there, and the whole thing. And there's a gentleman, I don't know if it's a relative, but as soon as the cop comes out, there's already fighting. And there's a gentleman who's an adult who takes the girl, she's tumbling on the ground, he kicks her twice in the head. He should have been arrested for that. The whole thing was crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy, but that was not a knife fight. It was an attempted murder. The police officer saved the girl. Not only did he save the life of the girl in pink, there's new body cam footage out, and the officer talking to her, she's telling this officer what happened. It's right after. She's like in a panic. It's the cop is walking with her, putting her in his cruiser, and getting the police tape out to rope off and the girl in pink says to the officer, she was going to stab me with the knife. That's why he shot her. So the girl in pink is telling the cop, this guy saved my life.
You won't hear that on the news, though.
The only hero cops, the only hero cops to the left are the ones at the Capitol, because they have a personal experience where they feel they saved them. All other cops are terrible. And this cop, let me tell you, this cop is a hero. He deserves a promotion, and he saved a girl's life. All right, Mike and Boca, appreciate the call. And I'd like to hear your calls on this. Okay, now, here in South Florida, This is a story that has national implications here. It may not seem like it, but I got a theory, as I often do. I have theories on things. The Broward County School Superintendent, Robert Runcie, has been charged with perjury and was arrested. His lawyer says that he doesn't know why. Don't you hate when that happens, when they come and arrest you and you don't know why you're getting arrested? Oh, my goodness. Broward County School Superintendent and the Broward District Chief Lawyer were arrested Wednesday. They arrested the lawyer for the county, too. Oh, my goodness. Broward County School Superintendent and the district's chief lawyer were arrested Wednesday as part of a statewide grand jury spawned by the local massacre in Parkland more than 3 years ago. Superintendent Robert Runcie, an administrator hired a decade ago to clean up corruption, was indicted on a charge of perjury in an official proceeding, which is a third-degree felony. General Counsel Barbara Myrick was arrested on a charge of unlawful disclosure of statewide grand jury proceedings, also a third-degree felony. The surprising indictments just days after the grand jury finished meeting saddened Runcie's supporters. Who's a Runcie supporter? Who is a Runcie supporter? Does anyone know of a Runcie supporter? Raised claims of political influence and delighted critics who have blamed Runcie for the Parkland tragedy. Governor Ron DeSantis impaneled the grand jury in 2019, the year after the gunman with a semi-automatic rifle killed 17 staff and students and wounded 17 more at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day 2018. Agents for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement arrested Broward School Superintendent Runcie for testimony he gave to the grand jury on March 31st and April 1st. Myrick, age 72, was accused of improperly sharing grand jury information. Runcie's indictment says he gave untruthful testimony before the grand jury and lists 4 areas they focused on. 1. Whether refusal or failure to follow mandates of school-related safety laws, such as the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act, results in unnecessary and avoidable risk to students across the state. 2. Whether public entities committed and continue to commit fraud and deceit by accepting state funds conditioned on implementation of certain safety measures while knowingly failing to act. 3. Whether school officials committed and continue to commit fraud and deceit by mismanaging, failing to use, and diverting funds from multi-million-dollar bonds specifically solicited for school safety initiatives. And 4, whether school officials violated and continue to violate state law by systematically underreporting incidents of criminal activity to the Department of Education. Okay, this is huge, people. This is huge. That animal that shot the Parkland school up, he has not been tried yet. He's still sitting in the county jail. The coward cop who hid and called in fake, phony radio calls while he was hiding, he hasn't been tried either. This has been held up for a long time. Now, Runcie is going to start singing like a canary, thanks to Governor Ron DeSantis with this grand jury. Ron DeSantis is the best governor in America today and the best governor in the history of American governors. This guy is just unbelievable, and he will one day be our president. I hope so. This is all about Parkland. This is amazing. And this last thing here, in the charges against Runcie, whether school officials violated and continue to violate state law by systematically underreporting incidents of criminal activity to the Department of Education. For those that aren't familiar with Parkland, it's one of the most exclusive areas in our community, which never made sense to me because it's as far away from the beach as you can be in Broward County. It's on the edge of the Everglades. But rich, powerful, connected people live there. It's a very exclusive area. And when the shooting happened and the media were out there in front of the school for weeks and months, but it was like the day after, one of the news, they were interviewing residents, and they said, I can't believe, and you heard this many times, but I remember one lady in particular, we're shocked. We are the safest city, and I think it said in Florida. Well, they were cooking the crime statistics. And remember The Wire on HBO about corruption and Baltimore police and things? They did a whole season on the crime stats. They were cooking the books on crime stats in the city of Parkland and in the Broward County schools. And if you don't arrest and charge people with crimes, on the books you have zero crime. And Runcie was involved in this up to his eyeballs. He's going to be singing like a canary. We're going to finally get justice. And there's a lot of people like former Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel who are probably freaking out right now. Because now we're going to get to the bottom of it. Runcie is the one who brought in the program that allowed the shooter to remain a free kid when he should have been arrested long ago for a lot of crimes. That My Brother's Keeper program or something where they wanted to reduce the rate of crime among minority students, so they just don't arrest black students on school grounds. Then they got no crime. We're finally going to get justice in this and find out what really led up to Nicholas Cruz, that animal who was insane. He's insane. Anybody who's been him will tell you. I ran into him that one time at Wawa. He's crazy. Scared that out of me. And this was before the shooting. And he scared me. Little tiny guy too. He's like 5 foot tall. This is a national story with the Broward School Superintendent. You better make a deal quick. First one that makes the deal gets the deal. Right? First one that talks gets the deal, whatever the phrase is. I'd be making a deal right now. All right, we'll take our last break of the first hour. One opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by. We will get right back to your calls after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow, by over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support MyPillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell. Visit MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Don't let the tech giants, don't let the left, and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
Oh man, Mother's Day coming up right around the corner. You know, a couple of Mother's Days ago, I bought my mom a MyPillow, and out of all the years of Mother's Day gift giving, it is the only gift that she still has, and certainly the only one that either of us remember me giving her. And she loves that MyPillow. And go to MyPillow.com. Use that promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. There is something for every mom on your Mother's Day gift-giving list. And I've been telling you about the MyPillow mattress topper. I've been sleeping on it since Saturday night. And again this morning, the alarm woke me up. I've been waking up 15, 30 minutes, hour before my alarm every morning at 3:30 in the morning. And since I've had that MyPillow mattress topper, I sleep the whole night through. It's unbelievable. Go to my YouTube channel. Watch the video I made about it. When you go to MyPillow.com and order the mattress topper, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Save 30% off the mattress topper, plus get 2 free MyPillows. You'll see on my YouTube video, I open up the box, boom, 2 free MyPillows included right there Pulled them out, very excited. That's right. And that mattress topper, you'll see me unbox it, put it on my bed, make the bed, show you how it works, and you'll also see my MyPillow 100% Giza cotton dream sheets that I have on my bed that I put over the MyPillow mattress topper. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, every line on the board is lit. I'm going to take the calls in the order in which they were received because I was able to keep track in my mind during the last couple of breaks. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just want to touch on a couple of things. So, first of all, with LeBron James, he had to delete the tweet because, that could lead to a lawsuit. Right?
Well, that would be that would be the least of the things that it could lead to. He said, "You're next." That could lead to that's like threats.
And wouldn't that be jury tampering if charges are brought up against this cop?
Well, yeah.
Right? So he's already, LeBron James is now on, become the playbook. But you know what LeBron James does not? So LeBron James has a problem with black people being killed by police. But you know what LeBron James does not have a problem with? LeBron James does not have a problem with the Chinese people killing Uyghurs.
Yes. Well, I mean, I know people like to talk about them a lot, and it certainly is a tragedy. But I know, the NBA, they like to go to China, where they don't even have elections in China, right? They have no freedom of religion. There's no Voting Rights Act of 19 anything, and LeBron James and the NBA, they have a thing for them. They're okay with China, which is a police state, and most of the people that work over there are basically slave laborers.
Exactly, but that's okay. That's okay. Because see, LeBron James' social justice just applies to the narrative. It doesn't matter if there's human tragedy going on with the people.
Yeah, and there's some new information has come out on a racial breakdown of police-involved fatal shootings. Let me go through this. This was an analysis performed by Databricks, and it covers the years 2015 to 2020. And 2020 is the year that has the most recent year statistics are available because we're only in April of 2021. Listen to this. This is a breakdown percentage-wise by race, by ethnicity of fatal police shootings. 51% of people shot dead by police are white. 51%. So the majority of people killed by cops are white. 26% are black, 19% Hispanic, 2% Asian, 2% Native American Indians. 23% of victims showed signs of mental illness. 91% of victims, listen to this. Now again, 51% of those shot by cops fatally are white, 26% black. 91% of victims were armed with objects ranging from toy weapons to pepper spray to taser guns to guns. And by the way, the Washington Post backs this up too. So the majority of people fatally shot by cops are white people.
But that doesn't fit the narrative, so we're not, we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
It's all about feeling. But I do want to say, you hit the nail on the head. I think the Biden administration wants to federalize police so that they can use them as weapons.
No, they do. They want to have, think about, that's a huge government agency, a new government agency. The National Police Agency, and the new cabinet secretary, a new department, and they want to control your local cops. That's what they're moving towards.
Exactly. so that they can weaponize them, just like they've weaponized everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Andrea, appreciate the call. Okay, thanks so much. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, Bill from Pennsylvania.
Bill in Pennsylvania. What's up, Bill in Pennsylvania?
Hey, listen, I just wanted to point out something because you mentioned about the left loving the Capitol Police. Do you know when Aunt Esther went to Minnesota, that she coordinated everything with the Capitol Police to get there and get back? Did you know that?
Maxine? Well, actually, Maxine, she went out there saying that the local Minneapolis police were racist and killing innocent black people. She actually asked the local police for a security detail while she was visiting. Yeah, she asked if she really thought that the police were racist and it was dangerous to be black around them, would she put in a request to have security from such a racist organization? That doesn't make sense. I mean, that's like her asking the Klan for security. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. And then remember the poor officer that finally come out with a coroner report that they said got hit in the head with the fire extinguisher. The poor guy died of a stroke. But there's nothing said on that side anymore because they just painted the MAGA movement as what they're painting it.
Well, listen, I'm not a supporter of that Capitol breach. If I was there, I would not have gone in. Somebody did ask me though over the weekend. They said, "Hey, Brian, if you were there in the National Mall and you were streaming on your YouTube channel and you saw that happening, would you have gone in to get the live stream and get the views on your YouTube channel?" And that's a hard one to answer because I might have been, you lose your thought. But no, I would not have gone in the Capitol, and I don't support that breach. And what happened to the Air Force veteran is not the same thing that happened to Dante Wright or anything else. She was climbing through that window. And that window was the Speaker's hallway leading to where the members of Congress were. And the Capitol, I support police. And the Capitol Police did a fine job because not one member of Congress nor their staff was hurt. And believe me, some of those people, like the guy with the drawstrings, they had plans, and the one Capitol cop that led them away it looked like he was running away, but it was actually a very smart, risky tactic to lead them in the wrong direction. They were hero police officers that day.
Like I said, Brian, I agree with that, but it's just how they painted the brush that the poor officer was hit in the head with the...
Oh, yeah. I know. I understand. Now, one thing I don't know, though... Okay, now there's one thing about that. He had a couple of strokes, I think is what I read. What I have not heard, though, were those strokes brought on by the event? Would he have had the strokes anyway?
No, but according...
Well, I don't know. Medical examiner might know. Were they brought on by the stress of the event? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But if they were, that's relevant. All right, hey, Pennsylvania, got to run for our break. Thanks for the call. It's 7 a.m. There's only one opening on the board where Pennsylvania was. So if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back with our second hour right after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Biostation West Delray. I'm so happy to be able to now offer the latest and most comprehensive approach to health, wellness, and anti-aging at my new West Delray location. In addition to the hormone therapies you are accustomed to, we can now offer testing for all of your health concerns, including vitamin and nutrient levels, cardiac risk panels, immune system markers, and much, much more. We also offer the full array of aesthetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc., as well as the latest state-of-the-art non-invasive treatments for erectile dysfunction, private IV suites, personal patient advocates, and comprehensive wellness, all in a spectacular new setting. Call me at my new office number, 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. To schedule your appointment today.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered my pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
We're coming back. Make sure you like the video. Every line on our board is full right now.
From Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GAIN-1. That's 1-888.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has just begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show. Oh, man, I've had too much water to drink and too much coffee. And, oh, man. All right, welcome back. The second hour has begun. Steve will be joining us later in progress. Every line on our board is lit. I'm going to take the calls in the order in which they were received, I think. I know at least where the next couple of calls, what order they came in. After that, it's getting sketched now. But I just want to do a quick recap. We're talking about this hero cop in Columbus, LeBron James' threat against the officer, and asking what do Black Lives Matter really want? Do they no longer want police officers policing black neighborhoods? What is the solution here? And other things I brought up in the first hour too. It is fair game to bring up anything that I brought up in the first hour and something new that you think is relevant to this discussion. It's not open phones, but try to be relevant. But you can open things up a little broader than I have. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian. It's Jeff in the Ranches.
Jeff in the Ranches. Yes.
Can I go back to Runcie for a sec?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. I've been following this for 2 years, and I'm very excited about what's going on because there's been some really personal friends of mine that have been affected by this. My family's in the school board, so that bond was, I think, $800 million for safety, and it was a capital bond, so it had all kinds of projects that were earmarked for it. They created a task force because out of demand, enough people got up and said stuff. They created a task force that could only find $160 million of the money. This is like in the last 2 years. So they started digging deeper, and they started making a few arrests. And they had a couple of arrests way down the chain. The big toe is falling now on this thing. But those projects never came about.
Well, the Broward County's Democrat machine is more corrupt than Cook County, Chicago. I'm here to tell you. And when Rick Scott was governor, he had some type of commission investigate the school board then. And I know members have changed since then. But back then, they said that every single member of the school board was corrupt. Steve and I had a friend on the school board many years ago who ended up getting arrested with their husband for kickbacks. So, but what's going on here is this is all about the Parkland shooting. The Broward County superintendent was arrested and with the district's chief lawyer, and one of them is better start talking real quick because Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland shooter, they didn't want to have any crime statistics on the books in Parkland, in Broward County. And he should have been in jail. He should have been institutionalized. He should have not have, the police came to his house how many times? And he was never arrested nor charged. And that's what led to the Parkland shooting, was them cooking of the crime statistics. And that was a program that Runcie brought into the county. So this isn't so much about all the theft and corruption from this bond deal or whatever it is. It's about the cover-up that resulted in, 17 dead in our community at that school?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. The safety manager was trying to spend the money to help harden the schools, and she was pushed out of the position, and anybody that spoke up was eventually pushed out of the offices. The administration is tainted so bad. The board, this is the second round for the board.
Robert, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Robert. I know the officer's family. I went to the school with the officer. They are people of faith and served our country in the armed forces. Which officer, Robert? Which officer, Robert?
Some of the teachers got problems, but this is actually an administration issue.
If Runcie would not have brought that program to Broward County, my brother's keeper, of how to cook the books, and not, he wanted to reduce the incarceration rate for African Americans, and by not putting them in the system and arresting them, so they weren't arresting criminals at the schools, and they spread it out to non-blacks, to everybody, because they wanted to have zero crime on the books in the schools, and that's why Nicholas Cruz was a free punk murderer on that day, but because of Runcie's program. Yeah, and
teachers that aren't even teaching because of it.
Yeah, and he was expelled when he should have been put in jail. He'd made threats, much like Columbine, that should get him in jail. And the expulsion process goes up to the district superintendent level. That's something that's not done routinely or easily. So there's huge cover-ups, and I think we're finally. Eventually, they're going to have to bring Nicholas Cruz to trial. It is here in Florida, so it'll be televised. And Runcie will be testifying. I'm hoping he flips. I bet you Sheriff Scott Israel's freaking out right now.
Oh yeah. Did you watch any of the coalition that came from law enforcement, Florida Department of Law Enforcement? The mayor came in, and Scott Israel was on. He was definitely the main topic, but the county manager, everybody spoke on it. It was a committee of about 20. It was several meetings. Can't remember what it was called, but that came out there, and that didn't get publicized.
No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't see it. Well, this is the beginning of justice for Parkland, and it's scary because the people in Parkland are the most wealthy, politically connected in our community, and still this corrupt Democrat machine has been able to stop the trial of the coward cop with the fake radio calls, and Nicholas Cruz himself. All right, hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right, take care. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Alice.
Yes, Alice. What's on your mind?
I'm calling because I'm thinking that the time for the killer, the girl who got killed by the police with a knife in her hand. This is the time that we use tasers, I thought, to deal.
Tasers? Tasers.
Taser would stop her.
Oh, it would have. Oh, this is interesting. Hey, Alice, what do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
Well, when you're retired, but when you were working, what was your profession?
I was a nurse.
You were a nurse. Okay. I thought you might have been a firearms expert or retired law enforcement, because you said a taser would have stopped this. Have you?
They have tasers. Why would they have tasers?
Okay, there's times to use. Where are you calling me from, by the way, out of curiosity? Tamarack. Oh yes, Democrat Broward County. We got it. Okay, that explains a lot. Have you seen the video from the Columbus incident?
Yes.
Describe what your takeaway from it is. You've seen the video. What do you see?
I see a girl holding a knife, and I see another girl behind her, and all I could think of is that why not use the taser?
Why not use it? Okay, well, you didn't see. Okay, you didn't see what really was in the video. Your recollection of what is in the video, you said you saw a girl with a knife and another girl behind her. That's not at all what the video shows. The video shows a very large girl with a knife and another girl in front of her that she's pinned against a car, so she's trapped. The girl is desperately trying to get away, and the girl with the knife reaches over her with emotion and is about to stab the girl in the neck with the knife. Now, you're a nurse.
Shoot her with a taser. Shoot her with...
Hold on a second. Let me finish. So she's about to stab the girl with all of her force with a knife at the neck. Now, you're a nurse. The neck, that's where the jugular vein is located, right? There are arteries. That could be a deadly stick with the knife, right? Well, hold on. The knife into the neck could be deadly, right? Would you consider that possibly deadly?
Yes, if that was where it was. I don't know where the knife was located.
Well, you did. Well, maybe you should know before you comment. Tasers are not. Excuse me. A taser is not. It's non-lethal force, right? It's not lethal, and it
a knife for somebody to shock them, to stop them.
Excuse me, a taser not only is non-lethal force, it's also not very effective oftentimes, and it's not an instantaneous stop.
Try it.
Try it. There was no. She had the knife ready to go in the girl's neck. He had to stop her immediately.
He murdered that girl.
What? Who murdered who?
Murdered her.
He murdered her?
Murder. Who murdered?
Excuse me, he saved the girl in pink that was pinned against the car that was about to be stabbed. There's new body cam footage out. Immediately after the incident, she says to the cop,
"Stop it, the murder, nothing doesn't make sense to me."
It wasn't a murder. The girl with the knife to her neck that was about to be stabbed in the neck, she told the cops immediately afterwards she was going to stab me with the knife. That's why he shot her.
You could say that.
No, that wasn't the cop. That was the girl that... No. The girl whose life...
was to stop her.
No, his job was not... His job... Excuse me. His job was to save the life of the victim, which he did.
Life to kill another, killing somebody, killing...
When you have a deadly weapon... When you have a deadly weapon in your hand and you're about to kill someone with it, you have voided your rights at that point because you're about to take another. The cop... Let me ask you, are you white? Are you black?
Why?
Because I asked. I'm white.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what
Why are you embarrassed? Why aren't you going to tell me? Are you white, you black, you Hispanic, you Asian? What are you?
I'm going to tell you what I am.
Why not?
I'm talking to you as a person, as a human being.
Well, no, in this instance, race is, it's relevant. It's relevant. Because race is the primary issue that is involved here.
Well, my primary issue is lies. Lies. Why kill one?
Why will you not tell people? Why do you think if people know what your ethnicity is, it's not irrelevant? You believe that if you tell us your ethnicity, that there's going to be some negative thing to it. Are you?
I'm talking about I'm a human being, and
well, so am I. But I'm white. I'm Caucasian. Are you white or black?
Great. I am who I am.
Well, you're deceitful is what you are. You're one of two things. There's one of two things factoring in here with you. I'll tell you, okay? One, you're obviously a liberal, right? But you are either white or black, right? If you're white, you have white liberal guilt, and you're ashamed to tell people you're white. If you're black, you fear that if people know you're black, that it'll discount what you're saying and you'll be seen as a cop hater, as opposed to supporting a hero police officer that saved the life of a young girl. in Columbus, Ohio the day before yesterday. It's one of those two.
So?
Well, which is it? Are you white or are you black?
I say it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
It's very relevant. I think you are ashamed to tell us which you are, for one of the two reasons I just gave.
Well, you go ahead and use your psychology or whatever you want to use like that, and I will stick to the fact that it's foolish to kill one person to stop that person from killing another.
Should the cop have waited until she stabbed the other girl in the neck? What should he have done?
Like he shot her immediately, like that guy with the gun.
No, he didn't immediately stop. He didn't immediately shoot her. He pulled up to the scene, got out of his cruiser. The fight was taking place. The girl with the knife picked up the knife and continued to fight and tried to kill the girl in pink after the officer had responded.
Already.
What?
Whatever.
Whatever?
Yeah, he should not have shot the girl.
Yeah. Why did you vote? Tell me why'd you vote for Joe Biden and not Donald Trump?
Why did I vote for
Biden and not Donald Trump?
Because I don't like Donald Trump at all. I don't.
Oh, because you have a personal beef with someone. You don't like him personally, so you voted for Biden? What is Biden doing that you think is good for America right now?
A gentleman.
A gentleman? Have you ever heard of Tara Reid, who he has sexually assaulted in the hallway of the Senate building?
He's experienced.
With what?
Politician.
A politician? Experienced? A gentleman? Do you know what? Have you heard of Tara Reid?
A kind person, not a nasty.
Tara Reid said that he sexually assaulted her in the hallways of the Senate building. Is that a gentleman-like behavior?
That doesn't even make sense. What you're saying doesn't even make sense.
It's her story. She told the story.
I don't care. Anybody can.
You don't care.
That'd be foolish for anybody to say somebody. Oh my God.
He did, yeah.
Thanks for taking my call. Bye.
Yeah. She hasn't hung up quite yet. There she goes. Took her a minute to hang up. Let's take our break. One opening on the board where our Democrat from Tamarack was at. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Which do you think? White or black? I think she's a white liberal suffering with white liberal guilt. That's what I think she is. What do you guys think? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune.
Plumber Mike, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Plumber Mike. Everyone thank Plumber Mike for the super sticker.
Like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Have you gone without insurance under the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400%.
That was a good call. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I was talking earlier, I got some messages. People didn't get notifications from my live stream last night. And they checked, they were not subscribed, and they didn't have the notifications. clicked either. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you've got the notifications, and then you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video or go live. All right? Yeah, we're back. I'm Bryant. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate, my mother-in-law went over to Friendly Tire on Saturday, bought new tires for her SUV, and she didn't go over there and order tires from Friendly Mike and Friendly Tire and say, oh, I'm Brian Craig's mother-in-law. She just went over there and got the tires, okay? And she saved over $100 per tire. She called all the other places, too, to do a comparison. All the places. Everyone you can imagine. All the big-name places, you know. She called everyone, and their cheapest price that she could find on all of them was well over $100 more per tire from Friendly Tire's price and Friendly Mike. I know, he's wonderful, isn't he? Give him a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445, over 100. You know, he doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, dispose of the old tire, none of those fees. The price is the price. These are out the door and on the road prices you hear us talk about. Free mounting, free balancing. He also has thousands of used tires in stock. They're very good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most sizes. So give him a call. Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Mike is his name. 954-977-9445. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name?
Yes, hi, Brian. Good morning. This is John in Wellington.
Hey, John. What's up?
As far as that lady from Tamarack is concerned, provided she's still listening, you already know this, but I just wanted her and some others to be aware that police are trained to use a chart called the use of force continuum. And police are trained to meet deadly force with deadly force in order to save a civilian or another officer's life. That's why that officer did what he felt he had to do. There was a deadly weapon involved, and the threat of death to the victim was imminent, and the officer had to act.
Well, haven't you heard what the left are saying, that this is what black teenage girls do? They get in knife fights all the time. It's a rite of passage. You know, is it a knife fight if only one person has a knife?
Absolutely not.
Was O.J. Simpson involved in a knife fight with Nicole Brown Simpson?
That was a double attack.
Yeah, that was a murder with it. A murder. Yeah. What do you think about the last caller, white or black?
Oh, I think she was black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She sounded like a very nice lady, but I think she was misinformed. I think she's, like I said, she doesn't have any police training. She doesn't have any military training, which brings me to my next point. I wanted to ask you a quick question. A person is supposed to be tried by a jury of his peers. How is a police officer tried if nobody on the jury has police or firearm?
Well, it's not. You're not entitled to like if I were on trial, they wouldn't find jurors who were just radio talk show hosts or podcasters or something. You know, it's from people in the community.
That's an excellent.
Could you imagine? I'm on trial and on the jury they have Mark Levin, Mark Stein.
Mark Levin, they'd be bringing it.
No, he'd be my lawyer.
People that you don't want on your.
Yeah, exactly. All the liberal hosts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, right.
The reason I really wanted to call was to remind you and to remind the listeners that the idea of the national police was actually Barack Obama's idea. He brought it up numerous times while he was in office. And I also wanted to remind everybody that the national police of Nazi Germany was the Gestapo.
That's correct.
It was the East German Stasi.
Yeah, and this. So you agree with me that the Democrats are moving to nationalize our police force?
Yes, and politicize it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't think there'd be so much happening. That I don't know if that's even legal to have a national police force like that. I don't know, but these Democrats don't care about what's legal. Justin, $5. Oh, Julian, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Julian. Yeah, you're right on the money. All right, thanks for the call, John in Wellington. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey,
if one of the darts missed, the taser has no effect.
I was going to comment on two things.
They don't come out of a barrel like a firearm. He had one chance. It took away. Yeah, you're right on the money.
From Tamarack, I'm guessing.
Right on the money. Everyone thank Julian.
She's a liberal Jewish girl lady.
I don't know. She wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, I would say with a taser that would be ridiculous. Obviously, I could see a taser if somebody like that instance that happened. What was it in Wisconsin or wherever?
Well, somebody in the chat room, Julian, he just said if the dart from the taser miss, the taser has no effect. They don't come out like a barrel from a firearm. You know, with the taser, they're not as accurate, and they don't work. When a lot of I've seen on TV, a lot of these criminals, they're hopped up on adrenaline, if nothing else, and tasers don't have a lot of effect a lot of times because of the rage that people that are about to kill someone have inside of them.
Right. I think what was that incident where the guy escaped in the cop car? But I don't know if he had a weapon. That's the one where they shot him, Atlanta or Wisconsin, something like that, maybe because they want to take him in. But
you know, and with the you know, I love how these liberals are. The cop this, the cop that. How about the girl doesn't take knives and try to kill people? How about that? Why don't they ever take issue with the criminals?
Yeah. The problem with these people, too, is they watch the stupid news, the CNN crap, and they believe everything they hear on there. And they're just like, they watch the wrong news, so they're brainwashed to think whatever thing. Now, I was going to talk about the Robert Runcie guy.
Oh, the Broward County School Superintendent. Yeah, his arrest.
That program, what was it called? I think it was called the Promise Program, I believe.
Yeah.
Back when that happened, I was talking to a lot of the people, involved with that thing, and through Twitter, and I think that was Obama's idea, and also his brother, Robert Runcie, has a brother. I think I was looking up because I couldn't remember his name, James Runcie, and that program was ridiculous to try to have less people be, with the crime and stuff, trying to make it so nothing's happened.
Well, what happened with what happened with the school board and with the sheriff at the time is they were falsifying crime statistics. They were not arresting people in Parkland, and they were not arresting students at the schools to lower the crime statistics on the books. And Nicholas Cruz should have been arrested many times. The only thing they were doing in Parkland is they had this cop, Broward deputy, with his speed traps on 441 over there in Parkland all day. He nabbed me once. This guy, I haven't seen him there, and I take a different way home now because we moved to the radio station, but I used to have to drive through Parkland every day when we had our studio in Coral Springs, and there's this one Broward deputy in Parkland, bald white guy with his speed traps, and this guy was, oh man, he was brutal. I'd see him, and he loved to pull over lawn crews and pool guys and jam them up with a ticket that's like half of their week pay, over there in Parkland. But Nicholas Cruz was, but during the time, I used to complain about the speed trap guy. In fact, I was at a sub shop over there, Jersey Mike's in Parkland, and there was a deputy. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, it's on Hillsborough and 441, and this was a couple years back. When the speed trap cop was around. This was before the Parkland shooting, and there was a deputy in there, and someone was talking about getting a ticket. And I said, your buddy over here, he's got a speed trap going on. He writes tickets all day. Every time I go by, he's writing a ticket, and I drive by an hour later, he's writing. He says, yeah, he gets everyone. He says, he says the speed limit goes from jumps 10 miles. There's a 10-mile reduction at this one spot. A lot of people don't see it. He says, I don't jam people up like that unless they're really out of control, but he gets everybody. I said, yeah. And meanwhile, while the speed trap guy's there, Nicholas Cruz is over in Parkland doing all this craziness. And the police come to his house and they don't do anything. They were cooking the books.
Yeah, I think I told you in the past my Twitter was canceled. Runcie actually blocked me on Twitter when I had my old account. Because I said, you call Wheezy from the Jeffersons, the one that calls you?
Mm.
I sent him a tweet, I guess, with a picture. You remember that show, Different Strokes? That old sitcom?
Yeah.
And there was a picture I found, I guess it reminded me of him, the way he looked. That the guy that was friends with Arnold, whatever his name is, Dudley, his father, I guess he was on a few times. I said that you look like him, kind of, and he got mad. So he blocked me on Twitter. I mean, it wasn't...
Yeah.
It was... Like it. But yeah, hopefully he speak. I didn't think of it when you were saying. Hopefully he speaks out about some stuff, and some of these people people should be worried. A lot of these people. I think a lot of people on the school board, not all of them, are corrupt, because you have a few that are on this.
Well, Ron DeSantis has, Broward County, the Broward County Democrat Party, I said earlier, they're more corrupt than Cook County, Chicago, okay? And our great governor, the greatest governor ever, not just of Florida, ever, Ron DeSantis, he got rid of the corrupt Democrat Broward sheriff, he got rid of the corrupt supervisor of elections, and this grand jury that led to the arrest of the Broward school superintendent, that was DeSantis' doing too. Now, I didn't see in the Sun Sentinel article, is he still the Broward superintendent, or has he been fired? He's been arrested. They arrested him, I think, at the school board. I'm not sure about that, but have they fired him yet?
I thought I read that he was out of jail. It sounded like the eating.
I didn't see anything about him being fired yet. Have you?
Yeah, no. I thought they said they're going to review some stuff.
They're going to review. This guy. Listen. He knows all the dirt about the school board. They're afraid to fire him, the school board, because he could be talking. He could be ratting them out.
He should be fired. I had a principal many years ago. It's not the same thing. That stole something. It was in the newspaper, and he got fired for stealing a generator out of a Home Depot.
Yeah. When you're the Broward County school board superintendent and you get arrested, did they say third-degree felony? I don't know. You get arrested. Yeah, you'd think you'd get fired.
And then hopefully it'll be worse.
Here's what I want to know. Is he showing up to work today at his office at the school board? I don't know. I'd like to know. It's the Sun Sentinel. The Sun Sentinel blows. The Fort Lauderdale Sun Sentinel. Who are these writers? Right out of college?
Pissed off at that paper, and she got sick of it. We used to get it, and she used to get it in the at home, and she.
Well, have you seen a print edition of it lately? Oh my goodness! Go and get one today, and look at how thin it is. It is.
And then you call them up, even if say you get the newspaper and you have a problem. They used to have, not being biased, but they used to have people in the United States. Nobody works in the United States. When you call up about your own paper, you have to.
If you were using the Sun Sentinel newspaper to line your bird cage, you would have to buy 2 or 3 copies. There's not even enough newspaper there to line your bird cage with. It's that thin. It's that tiny. There's nothing in there.
There's nothing, and then it's a one.
Well, now they got something. They got a Democrat school board member arrested. So that's their front page today. It's been a long time since anyone. I read the Sun Sentinel story. I wanted to see, and now maybe they've updated it since I looked. I'll look again. If they should update it right now. Has the school board superintendent who was arrested yesterday with the chief lawyer for the district, have they been fired? Will they be fired today? I remember when Steve Kane had his problem with the school board. The Sun Sentinel and the rest were all over Steve, trying to get Steve and doing perp walks and everything else. Even though Steve didn't get arrested to do a perp walk, but something happened with Steve. And the media were following Steve around all over the place and trying to get him fired from an appointment that he had on the school board. But this Broward school superintendent, I haven't seen anything about him being fired yet. All right, appreciate the call, Al. We'll take our break, and after the break, we'll be joined by Steve Kane, and the phones are cooking. So if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. There is only one opening where I let go of that last caller. We'll take our bottom of the hour break, a little late, and come back, and Steve Kane will be joining us. Don't go anywhere.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Bryant.
Steve Kane Show.
I just had a lot of work done. And
Hey, Barry, hold on. Steve Kane Show.
A lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Bryant
Hold on.
for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Bryant Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Bryant Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Bryant Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at BryantDental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on Radio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back, and we're joined by 2 different people. We've got Steve Kane on the line, and Steve, on the other line, we have your attorney who reviewed your revocable living trust and found out that your all kinds of problems, including your trustee was dead, and there was no trustee for your trust. Attorney Barry Siegel, hey, that's a big one. Attorney Barry Siegel.
Hey, good morning. How are you gentlemen doing today?
We are spectacular. Yes.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay, good. We continue to get calls from people who are new to South Florida, coming down from a lot of them from the Northeast, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, but from all over the place, needing to get their estate planning updated because they are becoming Florida residents and they're intending to remain here in Florida. And so if you happen to be one of those people who just joined us here as Florida residents, please give us a call. We're happy to review your current estate plan at no charge. The other thing I want to mention today is on our website, we have a very special report, a checklist that's available for free. It's a checklist of 5 ways to protect your family and to 5 tips on estate planning. So if you go to our website, SiegelLawGroup.com, SIEGEL lawgroup.com, and click on the top banner there, you'll get that free report, and it'll give you a lot of great information as to some of the things you need to do to protect yourself and your family.
Yeah, and I'm on your list where you send out things, and I did look at that report and and it's so interesting because I've heard you for years talk, Barry, about different aspects of estate planning. I've been to many of your workshops and seminars, and still every week I'm learning something new about all this from you. That's why you want to call attorney Barry Siegel. He knows the ins and outs of every possible scenario that you and your family could encounter. And you want to give him a call. Free consultation for attorney Barry Siegel. And he'll also review, if you have a trust, if you have a will, if you have estate documents, he'll review all those at no charge as well. 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow, Barry. All right, take care. Take care. Well, the phones have been on fire today, Steve, and we got some great news going on. Well, let me just do a couple recapping, then we'll go back to our phones. We were talking about this story that people think is local, but it's a national story. Thanks to the great Governor Ron DeSantis, the Broward County School Board Superintendent Runcie was arrested yesterday for perjury in this grand jury. It's directly related to the Parkland shooting. So, and he was the one who brought the program that they used to falsify crime statistics in the schools that led to the Parkland shooting, many people believe. So there are a lot of people that are shaking in their boots this morning because Runcie probably is ready to make a deal when he's facing this very serious prosecution. We're trying to find out if there's anybody, who knows whether or not the school board superintendent after his arrest has been fired yet. I've not seen reported. No, I haven't seen a reporter even ask that question. Is he still the superintendent of the schools after his arrest? I've seen school teachers get DUIs and things like this get fired, but has the not the Sun Sentinel?
Question: Well, no, but it'd be better than the Sun Sentinel, of course, which could be almost anything. Buddy Nibbins, have we saw that Buddy's number?
I'll look. I'll look for that. That's a good one.
Imagine he retains his contacts.
Yeah.
My guess.
Yeah, we've got to find that out. You can't look for news in the Sun Sentinel, our local newspaper, on this. But the charges are directly related to this grand jury. Most of it has to do with the Parkland shooting issues related to it. So Nicholas Cruz has still not been tried. The coward cop has not been tried. And this is good news. And we've been talking about a lot of other things too. So let's take a call or two. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi, how are you doing, Brian?
All right. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. I have a couple questions.
Good morning.
Steve's all right too. We're all right. You didn't ask. I mean, don't you care if Steve's all right?
Hey, Steve. How are you doing?
Jeez. We're all well. Oh, my goodness.
So here's my question. If you were a police officer in a Democrat state, would you actually leave at this point? Because obviously the state's not going to back you.
Yeah.
It's going to back you. And
yeah.
You're on fire.
Well, here's the deal, okay? Derek Chauvin's a Democrat. You know how I know that? Yeah, if he was a Republican, it'd have been all over the news. Listen, the cops that you're talking about, none of this is happening in the great state of Florida or Texas. It's happening in this Democrat towns, Democrat cities, and Democrat states. The police in these areas are also liberal Democrats for the most part. And, Democrats are, what Michael Savage says, it's a mental disorder. And most of these cops you're talking about are Democrats. So they support the mob in many instances. They don't see the world like we do.
My problem is why should I feel sorry for these police officers when they continue to vote in this Democrat stuff?
Yeah, plus they're government workers in Democrat towns. So they're mostly all Democrats. And you know what? The other cops that are going to go on trial in the George Floyd case, I think we can safely assume they're Democrats too, or we would know it. If they were MAGA, we would know it. Believe me.
Democrats are alone and move over to...
Well, it seems to me, we got to stop encouraging people from the north to move to Florida because they're mostly Democrats. You understand? We don't want Democrats coming here and voting Democrat and messing up our great state. But maybe the problem isn't between whites and blacks and cops. Maybe it's the problem is with Democrat cops.
Well, not just that, but I think that if you're a police officer, you should resign if you're in a Democrat state. I mean, you show up to any incident.
If I were a police officer in one of these liberal towns, what I would do is I would start looking for work at police departments in Texas and in Florida. You can I mean, my grandfather was a police officer in Columbus, Ohio for 30 years. He came to Florida and immediately got a job at a department here. It's very normal to do this. That's what I would do. Unless you're a Democrat. Stay up north if you're a Democrat. But if you're a Republican cop in one of these northern cities, apply to a department in Florida or Texas. Absolutely. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian. It's Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Brian. Wasn't it Mike change Steve, the reclassification of all these charges against these kids so it would bring down the numbers, the national...
Yeah, right. The school board, the Broward superintendent of schools, yes. Yes, they were or arrest on the school premises. So what they were doing was falsifying crime statistics is what they were doing. Oh, the caller hung up. I guess he just wanted to say that. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, Steve, and good morning, Brian. Wasn't this President...
Good morning.
Wasn't this President Obama that decided to reimagine the thugs that were in the classroom? And this was his idea?
Yes.
Yeah, the My Brother's Keeper program was what it was called, if I remember.
Runcie, if I remember correctly, Runcie came from the school system.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yes, correct.
Correctly.
I thought it was Detroit, but anyway.
Is there really a difference? Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore?
Just trying to reimagine.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Reimagine the thugs. I mean, this is crazy. I'm sorry.
No, what Runcie came in with this program, it was from Chicago, and the program was created by the guy, and Runcie worked under him, is my recollection, who was Obama's Secretary of Education, and they wanted to stop the black youth from the school to prison pipeline they would talk about. So what they did is they said, listen, let's just stop arresting them, and then they don't have records, and they'll grow up to be good kids. And Runcie came to Broward County, and they stopped arresting kids of all races, of all ethnicities on school grounds, and it immediately lowered the crime statistics. If you don't, if you,
it was not just. It was not only. Is that true? But they stopped expelling people.
Yeah, yeah.
In trouble in the class where under normal circumstances it would be standard for you to be
expelled or arrested.
Exactly, and then they wouldn't expel.
Yeah, and the Parkland shooting happened because of this. I think, was it 17 murdered by Nicholas Cruz? Nicholas Cruz was expelled, but he should have been arrested. And he had written some very threatening things about a girl and her new boyfriend that he had liked, and they didn't want the crime stat in Parkland, so they didn't. That's why the police kept going to his house. That's why he wasn't and didn't arrest him, and that's why he wasn't arrested at the school when he should have. He was so scary. The reason that the cop was hiding, the coward cop, he saw Nicholas Cruz with the bag walking on campus, and he was scared of Nicholas Cruz, and he went to hide. That's how bad he was. But Runcie's program allowed him to remain free, and that's why that happened. And now, what was it? The chickens are coming home to roost.
The shooting of that 15-year-old girl who was so innocent that when the cops shot and killed her in front of her parents and family, they started jumping all over the cop once again. I know how.
Why didn't they jump on their daughter when she had the knife at the girl's throat? I don't know.
I know how I would react if my daughter got shot in front of me like that, trying to kill somebody. I wouldn't be jumping on a cop. This is insane behavior on behalf of that community. It's sad. Have a good one.
All right, take care. You know what? If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're going to take our last break of the second hour. Phones are on fire, so if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. You'll have a hard time. Yep, if you hang up, you'll have a hard time getting back in. So bear with us. I'm trying to take the calls in the order in which they came in to the best of my ability to keep track. But we do have an opening where Richie was. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
This is Dr. Matez from the BioStation West Delray. The BioStation is America's premier age management solution due to the extensive array of options available. At the BioStation, we take your health seriously. Our men's health program is doctor supervised with multiple options to treat erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. Erectile dysfunction may be a sign of a more serious issue, and our medical team can help you get to the root cause. Let us help you get to the source of the issues that are holding you back from leading a fulfilling life. If any degree of erectile dysfunction is holding you back, call me immediately at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the MyPillow.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
Just so you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered MyPillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
How you doing? Barry from Margate.
Hey, Barry in Margate.
Yeah. What you're leaving out is the critical part of this criminal corruption.
Of course.
With Obama's organization, which is the tens of millions of dollars that were received by Scott Israel because of that program, because of the lowered crime statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the Obama gang organized crime association.
Well, what they did was, Parkland had this designation of being the safest city in something, Florida or whatever it was, and it was because of the crime statistics being manipulated over there. That's fact. And all right, the point is, all right, appreciate the call. The point is always something other than what we've said with that guy. This guy's been calling forever. Okay, I got some information here. This is in the Sun Sentinel. It's buried at the bottom. This is about they love to bury leads over there. They should really cover this well, because it's been a couple of years since I was ever looking at the Sun Sentinel for any information. But the school board superintendent and the district chief counsel, both arrested yesterday, both intend to stay on the job. So Runcie's saying going to stay on the job, even though he's been arrested. The decision will be up to the school board. So the school board, which is part of this whole corrupt business that's going on, is going to decide. And he could start singing to prosecutors about anybody in the school district. So I don't know. What do you think the school board will do, Steve? They're part of his...
Very hard to tell. It's been so long since we've been out of that.
Oh.
So I've kind of lost my contact.
Oh. No, they're all gone. There's no one there's no one we know that's connected to the school board anymore. No, we've been away from that for a while. All right, listen, let's go back to our phones.
Doing? She must be doing something.
I don't know what everybody's doing. I don't know. You're bringing up names I haven't heard in years.
Sheila, if you're out there, Sheila, get in touch with us.
Yeah.
She was always the one that had all the latest information.
All right. Good morning, caller. You're on the air from a wind tunnel. Go ahead. Oh my goodness. Once, twice. All right, and I can't handle that. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. It's Juan from Coral Springs.
Hey, Juan.
And
hey, Juan.
Good morning. I just want to know one thing. And as I'm listening to you all speak, why do you think that, for something, there's a double tier as far as the justice system is concerned, but why do you think that now it seems like the guy's under hot water when he should have been under hot water back in that school shooting? guys, I don't know if you guys remember, my son was part of that freshman year, and I mean, I wanted him
because Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, had an investigation take place that led to a grand jury that investigated the Broward School Board corruption. That's why he wasn't arrested then. He should have been fired immediately, but the school board voted unanimously to keep him on because they're corrupt Democrats too. And Nicholas Cruz and the cop have not been tried yet. Nicholas Cruz is in the Broward County Jail, where we have listeners. In the Broward, because the corrupt Democrats in town, that'll be a public trial. It'll be on TV because it's Florida and it's a national story. They don't want their corruption like this to be exposed in the trial. The shooting happened because of the corrupt Democrat machine of Broward.
Okay.
That's why the trial hasn't happened yet. They keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
All right, okay. Yeah, because, I mean, the cop in Minnesota, a year later, he's been tried and he's been sentenced. And then here, Nicholas Cruz, this happened back in 2018, and he's still in jail.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be, let me tell you, this Nicholas Cruz trial will be one of the ones that's watched by the entire nation, because it's the Parkland shooting, and in Florida, these things are televised. Usually the shooters in these high-profile things don't survive, and this guy, he did. And you're going to see Runcie, you're going to see Broward, former Sheriff Scott Israel, and a whole bunch of other Democrats that don't want this trial to happen.
I am so waiting for that day. You just can't imagine. This is so...
Oh, and you know who will be in the court every day? Andrew Pollack will be in the courtroom every day talking to reporters after the day's events, I bet. I bet you. All right, thank you, Juan. Good morning. Yep, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right. What's your name?
My name is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Yes, I apologize. Yesterday I was really out of control, but I calmed down today.
Yes. That's okay. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to talk about this with Nicholas Cruz. Yeah, I was wondering what happened with this story, because this was like ever since 2018. He's never been tried. I mean, he's sitting there waiting for a trial, and I'm like, when the trial going to take place? So I happened to come by. I was listening to a radio station late yesterday, and they was talking about it. I was like, wait, hold up. And so I ended up, like, looking into it, and I was researching on the internet. I couldn't find nothing. And I was like, so this guy's still sitting there while this guy in Minnesota already been tried and convicted? Come on.
Well, it's for the reasons I just told you.
Democrats, and they was the Democrat was trying to hide it, because I know down here in Broward County, they was trying to hide this information. A lot of other people don't know that this guy's still waiting. They keep putting back the trial. So me and another lady was talking yesterday in my neighborhood. She said to me, "Do you hear anything about Nicholas Cruz?" I said, "Yeah, they still hiding it. They're not released."
Well, now you can tell your friend what's going on. The Democrats control Broward County, which includes the court system in Broward County, and it's the most corrupt political machine in America, more corrupt than Chicago, and they don't want that. They don't want that public trial, because this thing with Runcie, this is the beginning of the trial happening, because these are the types of things that would have come out in the trial.
Yeah, because that was a mess. Because that school was one of, listen, I used to be a school teacher, and I used to work. I was doing two positions. I was a substitute teacher, and I also was doing a school crossing guard. And I was doing it right at that school at that time, and I ended up hurting my back, so I didn't go back like a month later before.
What school? What school did you work at? You worked at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas?
Yes.
During the shooting?
Just during the shooting, I was on maternity, but I was on sick leave.
Oh, you were on sick leave when it happened. Yeah. Yeah.
In the incident on TV, I was like, oh my God.
Did you know? Did you ever have Nicholas Cruz around?
Was around. He looked goofy. The guy looked crazy. I don't know what was up with him.
Now let me slow down. This is good. So you knew who Nicholas Cruz was. This is because I mentioned this before. I met him once at Wawa, and he scared the living crap out of me. He's a short little guy, about 5 foot, 5'1", but one of the scariest people I've ever seen. When he looks at you, you know he's a killer. Well, I mean, was he creepy? Was he creepy to you?
He was threatening other kids in classes. Because I used to be in the
Threatening?
the classes.
Really?
Like, yeah, he was threatening the kids. All the kids that was there was afraid to be around him. Nobody wanted to be around his kids.
Yeah. He was threatening kids, and because of this program from Runcie, he was allowed to stay in school for quite a while.
And the principals there, the school teachers, and also the deans, they were scared to say anything to him, but they tried to kick him out of school multiple.
Yeah, but this program that Runcie had, so that you're telling me the principal and the deans, this is prior to the shooting, they were afraid of Nicholas Cruz.
Yes, they were.
That's how scary.
They tried multiple times to remove him because of incident.
So the school board must have stopped it. That's Runcie. That's Runcie. Wow. Sounds like he's got blood on his hands. All right. Good information. Thanks for calling. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. You can tell the phones are very busy. Lots going on. People very opinionated, which is a great thing. It's 2 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. My name is Bryant. We will be back for the third and final hour after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. This special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available.
Make sure everybody in there that you've liked the video, all right? Like the video. That helps get the video recommended to other people that like this kind of content.
37821-855.
Oh, I hit it too quick.
3782.
I hit the show open too quick.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show.
Brian, do you read this? I think that answers your question.
Toll free. Dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, here's Steve.
All right, third hour's begun. 5 minutes after 8, I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and Yeah. All right, well, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
It's Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
How's it going, man? All I can figure out is something's going on. They must be putting something in the air or in the water to make people go crazy like that. The more and more people either are numb, they don't want to get involved in anything, they just don't care what goes on, or they want to destroy the country. I don't get it. How did this all of a sudden happen? When I was a kid, people were a lot more normal. See, there's no more normal anymore.
Well, be more specific. You're being vague. Which particular thing are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about everything. This guy gets locked up, and he's going to still stay in office, and nobody throws him out. I mean...
Oh, you're talking about the school board superintendent? Yeah, I remember there were two teachers that were at a swingers club that got raided by the cops, and they were not even arrested, and they were fired. They weren't even arrested, and they were because swingers clubs are legal, and they got fired immediately because it was in the newspaper that they could. How many times have you heard stories of a school teacher who's like 35 or 40, and 20 years ago she did an adult film or something? They fire her on the spot because the reason they do that is because they can't effectively run a classroom with these types of things in the news. Here you've got the superintendent of Broward County and the chief lawyer for the district both arrested, and they're both saying they're going to stay on the job? Hey, I got a question for cops. The Broward School District has its own police force, right? Does the superintendent have any authority over the resource officers? Is there any, or is it only the sheriff? Does he have any? I don't know. It just seems a very strange situation to me.
I don't know about that, but man, I'm telling you, the common sense is not common anymore. People just going crazy. They vote for Democrats.
Well, didn't you hear the Democrats yesterday about this thing in Columbus, Ohio, that teenage girls commonly get in knife fights, and this is just a part of growing up for black teenage girls?
I love that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
If only one person has a knife, is it a knife fight or is it an attempted murder? I mean, I was talking about this earlier. I've never heard anyone refer to O.J. having a knife fight with Nicole or Ron Goldman. He murdered them with a knife. I never heard that. It's not a knife fight if only one person has a knife.
That's for sure.
But they keep calling it a knife fight. Yeah, exactly. All right. Appreciate the call. Yeah.
Thanks for your...
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing that's going on. I think a lot of it has to do with news cycles. Since the big explosion with the election,
Mm. Mm.
Democratic news cycle, and this is nationally. And when day after day after day, you've got a democratically controlled news cycle, it gets to be maddening, crazy, because it's like Alice in Wonderland. The little pill, one pill makes you larger, one pill makes you small. It gets very crazy making. And I can tell you that I look forward to whenever I get down, and I do get down on occasion. I know that the day is coming in the not too distant future that Donald Trump will once again be back in the action. Because when Donald decides to become active, he'll control the news cycles, and I can tell you it's a lot more optimistic living in a Donald Trump news cycle than these.
Yeah, I think it's beyond. At first, I think it was a lot about the media. The ratings for the cable news have been nosediving since Trump left office. And all these things that are in the news right now are good for ratings. And I think that's how it started. But then you see this morning, this Merrick Garland that Obama wanted to give a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court to. This guy, they're going to... Yeah, he could. He's launching a special investigation of the Minneapolis Police Department, where justice was done. All the cops involved have been fired and charged. One's in maximum security prison. The others will be in trial in August, and they're going to investigate. See, I was talking about this in the first hour to some callers. A lot of people believe Obama is running the country through Biden. Okay, and this is something Obama talked about. Many people, and I believe this, the Democrats want to nationalize our local police. They want to have national control over the local police force.
Thing is about.
And that's what this investigate, yes. And, Minneapolis, they pick Minneapolis because they'll cooperate, because they're liberal Democrats. Especially that wimpy police chief. I couldn't believe that guy was a chief of police that testified against Chauvin. He was very strange. Didn't talk like any cop I've ever seen. And it only takes one major city to surrender their local police to federal oversight to get the domino effect going. The Democrats want to federalize local police. That's what it looks like to me.
That's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
The investigation in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? Minneapolis would probably do that. They probably say fine. I thought it was illegal for that to be, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but that's definitely where we're going. And can you imagine if they had control of our local police, the Democrats, the federal government? Oh my goodness! I mean, my good, that would be the worst thing that's they're trying to get control of the people of this country in the biggest way. I mean, that's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's the number. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Bob Reich here.
Oh, Bob Reich. How you doing?
Roberto, how are you?
Excellent, guys. Love the show as always. I have a question. I used to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Change venue.
Well, I don't know where you could change a venue for Chauvin. Where could you change the venue to?
Well, I would say you do a lot better not being in the city where you can.
Maybe the Villages. Derek Chauvin would get a fair trial in the Villages here in Florida, maybe. But outside the Villages, I don't know. I know what you mean. Yeah. Brooklyn Center. Here's the thing, okay? Derek Chauvin cannot get a fair trial in this country, period. He can't. It's impossible. This one was an unfair trial. I believe he was guilty of manslaughter. You may disagree. He was over-convicted and overcharged. But we don't know what the jury's verdict really would have been without all the threats and intimidation and the burning of the town, and all of this. The pig's blood.
A historical precedent to not try somebody right at the scene of the crime because of prejudice. So you said it yourself.
Yeah. 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 Well, Derek Chauvin, I believe, should have this conviction tossed, and I don't think he should be tried again because I believe he committed manslaughter and should do time, but I don't think he can get a fair trial. And I'll tell you another thing. He should be under some kind of house arrest to do his time, whatever time he has to do. I mean, they put this guy in the maximum security prison. I mean, that's a death sentence.
They have to be making provisions for that.
They can't make provisions. Steve, he's facing 75 years. They're going to be able to make provisions for the rest of his life?
The idea of house arrest, I think, is an excellent notion. Let's see how it plays out when the sentencing comes.
You know what you're having now, what it's looking like to me, all the big fuss about lynchings that we've seen in the past and how horrible and everything. Well, now what I'm seeing is between
lynch mobs. Well, listen, they're using Black Lives Matter and these other groups are using Klan-like tactics of intimidating judges and juries, and there's no doubt about it. And like the Klan, they're Democrats, right? I mean, this is an old Democrat play. All right, Bob Rice, thanks for the call. Now I got to tell you, Steve and I are both woke. We're very woke here on the Steve Kane Show, and the reason we're woke is because we sleep every night on my pillows, and when we wake up in the morning, we're completely woke up. We're very woke here, and I got to tell you that my pillow mattress topper is the best thing I've ever gotten for myself. I mean, it's really life changing. Well, because it's a miracle. It's a miracle. I've had so many listeners tell me how great the my pillow mattress topper is, and I didn't realize until I had one myself. And I told you guys, first night I slept on it was Saturday night. I woke up Sunday morning for the first time in years after the sun came up. That never happens. And here we are Thursday morning. Each morning this week, for the first time in years, I have woken up when my alarm goes off. I always wake up before my alarm, but now I'm waking up when the alarm goes off. That means I'm sleeping the whole night through. And now I've noticed I'm catching up on my sleep deficit here. I'm catching up on all the sleep I've been missing because I'm sleeping in and I'm getting a more restful night's sleep and I'm feeling better. I mean, I'm more energized throughout. I just feel great. The My Pillow mattress topper is perfect for anyone out there in this listening audience. Now look, Mother's Day is right around the corner. I got my mattress topper. I'm here to tell you that your mom, your wife, or any other mother on your list, your daughter, your mother-in-law, your grandmother, you get them the My Pillow mattress topper for Mother's Day, they'll wake up every morning thanking you and thinking about you and the great gift you gave them for Mother's Day. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com, or you order by phone, I'll give you that number in a moment, not only do you receive 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper, you get 2 free My Pillows. And when you go to my YouTube video, when I unbox the mattress topper, you'll see the first thing out of the box are the 2 My Pillows. And that's great. Also, you can order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. at checkout. All right, let's take that break. We'll be right back after this.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh man, we are back. I'm Bryant, Steve Kane here. You want to go back to the phone, Steve? Okay, let's go. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Yes.
George. Hey, George. Lauderdale. I have a question. This is not a challenge, but I don't quite understand the point, if you say, for instance, Derek Chauvin is a Democrat, in view of the fact that the Democratic Party is about 100% anti-police, period. So, Brian, I don't quite understand what there is about his being a Democrat that, changes it.
Okay. Well, if you look at these incidents that we see in the news lately, what do the places where they take place all have in common?
Definitely.
They're in. Yeah, and these cops are all Democrats, and they're in Democrat cities. So all this talk about a problem between whites and blacks, cops and blacks, I think the problem may be with Democrat cops. Is what I'm telling you. There's and the reason that may be is in these liberal towns, they have different standards for recruiting than real cops have. Like there was that great sheriff with Ron DeSantis here in Florida the other day. I forget what county, Polk County. That said, I want to welcome all our northern transplants that have been coming to Florida, but don't bring your stupid politics with you. That's not the kind of sheriff doing the hiring in Minneapolis or Columbus, Ohio. You've got liberal, politically correct hiring practices that have strange standards when it comes to policing and hiring police. And I think it's an important factor.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, now I understand what you said about that. Yes, thanks.
Well, okay. I won him over. Now, I just got a message from a listener that asked me for the number of Dr. Janae Lemaski. They have a child in the family. I don't know how old, but they have a child in the family that's in need of some therapy. And Dr. Lemaski, she sees adults, she sees children, she does everything involving therapy. As far as I know, I'll give you the number, 561-777-2021. Now, when you call, if the number's busy, that means that Steve's probably in a session. But you call back. Call back.
I spend half my life with...
Yeah. 561-777-2021. That's Dr. Janae Lemaski. And make sure you tell her where you heard about it. All right, good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, gentlemen. I basically called just to say thank you. You just brought out a key point that nobody is talking about. I had a heated argument with one of my coworkers on Tuesday that President Obama and the big picture is still and always will be about nationalizing the police. Remember that. He's quoted. He wants them to be just as well funded as the military.
And just as well armed as the military.
Yes.
It's an extra branch in the service.
Yes, they want
That's how...
think.
Yeah.
Listen, the Obama started this, and Trump did away with it, but Biden's brought it back. They say racism is an epidemic, right? Like an illness, a condition. And now that we've had COVID, they're using their agenda. Everything's a health issue now, right? Racism, policing, global warming. This thing with the Attorney General in Minneapolis. See, there was no injustice in Minneapolis, okay? Unless you think the jury was tampered with. I don't. You know what I'm saying. You had a man killed in police custody. They were fired, arrested, charged. One's been tried. He's in prison right now. Chauvin. The other, is it 3 more? Their trial is in August. So Minneapolis did everything by the Democrat book, is what I'm saying. Okay. The reason that they're investigating Minneapolis is because they're Democrats and will cooperate and hand their police over to Merrick Garland and Biden and Kamala. They are likely to be the first city to turn over their department to the federal government.
Tried this once before. They tried it back in, what was that? Was it last summer? There was a big police shooting and the trial, and they found them, didn't find them guilty.
Yeah. Believe me, Merrick Garland's got a long game here he's playing.
Oh yeah, it's on the table. Just with the nationalizing the voting and nationalizing the police.
Yep.
Everybody needs to understand that.
Yeah.
For mentioning that, because
well, thank you.
Yes. I mean, it's horrible the direction we're heading, and we really have to, they're trying to silence our voices in every way possible. And if you're proud of America, if you want to seek justice, they're using that again.
Listen, the police. There's a lot of conflict between inside conservative circles about police, because the police are supported by conservatives and all of that. But if you go to these liberal towns, like there's been incidents of violence in Portland, for example, where the protesters have been violent, and the police protect the protesters. The police in the last guy, why does it matter if they're Democrats? Because many of these police in these big cities where all these conflicts happen, if they weren't cops, they'd be out there with the protesters.
Never forget the union dollars and everything else. That's why I laugh. I said, how do you like the Democrat leaders now? They're throwing you under the bus with all this defunding and everything. And meanwhile, where you follow the money, has always been part of
Well, look at the listen, government work attracts oftentimes liberal-minded people. And the reason why a lot of them won't quit, and I'm not talking about our great cops here in conservative Florida, I'm talking about in these liberal towns. A lot of these guys, they make good money, these cops. They make good money. And what else are they going to do making that kind of money? If you go to Minneapolis, one of these liberal towns with all these liberal cops, okay? What else are they qualified to do where they could earn the money that they're making?
It's how they end up with the money, retirement.
Most of them, and I'm not talking about our great police. In Florida, we're almost like another country now. In Florida, okay, under Ron DeSantis. So I'm not talking about great cops in this listening audience. I'm talking about. You saw the police chief testify in the Chauvin trial? My goodness, that was very strange the way that guy was talking. I mean, it was not a tough cop. Who was he intimidating on traffic stops? But I know. They are left-wing people that are government bureaucrats, just like in any other government agency. It could be the DMV, it could be the anything,
It's amazing, and it's just upsetting, and I'm really I'm starting to dedicate myself to put the word out. I'm working on a book. I'm working on all kinds of digital.
You're working on a book about what?
It basically inserted the thing now. America Today, and I call it Did You Know? And just like I said, did you know that Obama wants to nationalize police? The guy didn't know that. He didn't remember.
Yeah.
Vote for.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
They don't get it.
That's right.
Rush Limbaugh.
Well, you can't listen to Rush anymore unless it's a rerun.
They're told not to.
You got to update your conservative talking point.
53 says, we can't fly this flag half-staff because Rush...
Now, let me ask you. Now, Steve, have they written off the EIB network totally now? I am shocked that Rush Limbaugh's memory and legacy is being canceled here. I've not seen what's going on that show.
Actually, Rush Limbaugh, best of.
That's sick at this point. That's very creepy at this point.
I guess.
And I can't believe it's doing well. I find it hard to believe that it's doing well.
What I would do, yeah. Yes, yeah. The wife or something. Yeah. Well, they already lost a bunch of their stations. This is what I would do if I were running the EIB network. First off, I'd hire Steve Kane and Brian Craig to take over the slot. But you can still do the show from your home studio, Steve. I'll go to the EIB network. We'll pipe you in like we're here. But what I would do is I would find a good talent to be the host. And instead of running these creepy Rush Limbaugh best ofs, what I would do is turn them into. I would have a bit once on every show, kind of like I just forgot his name, Steve. Who was the guy that did the commentary on radio stations for 100 years? Paul Harvey. I would turn them into like Paul Harvey moments where we'd have one break a show, and it would be a Rush moment, like in Paul Harvey, where it'd be like a 1-minute thing or 30-second thing of him talking about something every day and have it sponsored. And that's what I would do. You know, that Rush Limbaugh program time slot is vital to the conservative move. If they piss it away like they're doing, his entire legacy will be lost and forgotten, and it'll all be for nothing. It's really sad.
That's life.
No, Steve. There's a whole. If they did the show right, it would continue with someone new. It may not be as big, at least not in the beginning, because they're not Rush. But that is vital to Republican elections in the future. Is that Rush Limbaugh time slot, and it's being pissed away. People are telling me. I ran into a listener the other day. I said they were a big Rush person. I said, "Do you listen?" I don't even know what's going on there anymore. I just listen to you and Steve. I used to listen every day between noon and 3. I don't even know what they're doing now. You know, it's and we don't have reporters in this country anymore to go up there to find out what the hell's going on. Is there infighting going on between Rush's wife and stations and the EIB? I don't know, and there hasn't even been a news account of what's going on up there. It's not right. It's not right. That program is an important wing of the Republican movement, of the conservative movement, of the MAGA movement, and it's being canceled, and basically it's to irrelevancy, and that's going to hurt us in the future.
When Rush passed on, we knew it was going to happen. It happened.
Yeah, but they could have continued the show. They pissed it away. They've already lost a bunch of stations to Bongino, you know, and Bongino's okay, but they're going to start putting other things on these stations around the country, and it's not going to be the same.
Is getting on with life, and that's what.
No, Steve, they could have picked a top talent to take the show over. We talked. I mean, they could. If you're, all right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break. 34 minutes after the hour. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow, by over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support MyPillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell. Visit MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Don't let the tech giants, don't let the left, and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure that your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 36 minutes after the hour. You know, we were talking about Parkland and the mistakes over there. You know, the heroes that day were the Coral Springs Police. The Coral Springs Police answered the call, some of them even off duty, like the one Coral Springs cop that was just watering the grass in the baseball field. I think he had T-shirts and flip-flops on. He ran in there, borrowed a gun. You know, all those hero cops from Coral Springs, they eat at Wings Plus on Sample Road. That's where they go for lunch, and you know, and it's a great place, Wings Plus. I was eating, yeah, the politically elite, not the liberal. Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, here, you know, Wings Plus voted by Sun Sentinel readers as #1, the best wings in South Florida, and I'm here to tell you they're the best wings anywhere. And Wings Plus has been with us here on the Steve Kane Show for over a decade, and I've been eating at Wings Plus on Sample Road many years after they were with us on the program. And I'll just tell you real quick how they ended up sponsoring the Steve Kane Show. Is Wings Plus on Sample Road is just a couple blocks away from our old studio in Coral Springs, and I used to eat there all the time, but when Steve and I get off the air, they're not open yet. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Lunch doesn't start till a little later. But I told Steve, I said, you got to go over there. These are the best wings you've ever had. And you stopped in there for lunch one day, and the next day we were doing spots, right? You came in with the menu. We didn't even have commercial copy, nothing. Steve just came in with the menu. The next day we're doing spots for Wings Plus on Sample Road. That's how good they are. Yeah, that's how good they are. And they're located in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. Wings Plus. Bryant, he's the owner. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning. Is that me?
Sounds like you.
Okay. You know, to give all the credit to the guy with the white pillow.
It's not. It's actually just $29. It's $29 with the promo code Kane. Oh my gosh, this guy. Oh my gosh. Those are the haters, people. By the way, the thing about the MyPillow, we don't sell the MyPillow. The MyPillow sells itself, right? If you sleep on it just one night. All right, listen, our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. You know, I'm in Palm Beach County, so I don't get the local news in Broward, but you do, Steve. You should watch the local news in Broward today and see how they cover the Broward superintendent's arrest. I remember when you were in the news on that school board diversity committee, the media were following you around like they were trying to get you on a perp walk, like you committed a crime, and you weren't arrested. They should, I wonder if...
Yes, in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I remember the boys were...
You were on all of them. So I don't remember which one came to your house that night.
All these boom trucks and everything in the middle of the night coming into the neighborhood. The neighbors are all standing in front of their house saying, what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, Steve had done something. Steve had done something very controversial, which Steve and I were both at the time members of the diversity committee of the Broward County School Board, and Steve had said something in a school that was rather controversial, and it was a big story, and they were trying to get Steve fired from this appointment to the diversity committee, and the local media, the newspapers and the television, were following you around for weeks. Coming to your house, coming to the radio studio, and everything else. And I'd like to, if I had the Broward news stations, I'd be watching them today. Like Channel 10 is the one that came to your house, I think, Steve. And they do a lot of this stuff. I want to see how if I had it in Palm Beach, I'd be watching it. I want to see how they cover the arrest of the Broward County school board superintendent. And this is all because of DeSantis. Look what DeSantis did, right? He got rid of the Democrat sheriff, right, Israel. He got rid of the Democrat supervisor of elections. Now, the superintendent of the Broward County schools has been arrested because of this grand jury that is there because of Governor Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis has been cleaning up this corrupt Broward Democrat Party machine that I didn't think anybody would ever be able to clean up. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Oh man, I just. It runs. When these Democrats get arrested, like Runcie, they're so corrupt. These Democrats, they don't even know they're corrupt. They're like Biden with Burisma and all this. They don't understand why they're getting jammed up because this is what everybody's doing. They're all corrupt, the Democrats, so they don't understand why are they picking on me. Everybody's doing this. I don't get it. That's the kind of thing that. That's the kind of thing that. Did you see what Valerie Jarrett said about the girls with the knife? She said that this is part of growing up as a black teenage girl, that they get in knife fights. I've never. Yeah.
A remark. It struck me at the time.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. Yeah.
Democratic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I've never seen anything like this before.
Did you see the latest polls that show that actually, under the circumstances, which are disgusting and atrocious, it's amazing how Biden is held up in the polls, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got a 41%.
If you believe it. Yeah. Yeah.
60%.
The liberals are giving the liberals. They're the liberals. They love it. They love it. Yeah. If you believe the polls. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. And when we get back, it'll be time for the Gold Report. So don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. And I want to tell everybody about Champagne Automotive Repair. Champagne Automotive Repair right here in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. They work on my cars. They work on Steve's family's cars. And I know they work on a lot of your vehicles too, because when I'm over there, I run into Steve Kane listeners quite often at Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton. When we first met them, I had them work on my Ford Explorer. I have a Ford Explorer that has almost 200,000 miles on it. It had been sitting at my house for better part of close to 2 years, and it's an old car, an 03, and I didn't take it in to get it looked at anywhere because it's so old and so many miles on it. I was afraid, they're going to tell me it needs everything under the hood done. And it was so bad, my neighbors on the front and rear wipers were putting signs on it for the We Buy Junk Cars people with the number. They wanted me to get rid of the car. We meant Champagne Automotive Repair. I took the it's a Ford Explorer 03, almost 200,000 miles on it now. It only had 180-some thousand at the time. But I took it over there and had them look at it from bumper to bumper, check out everything. I needed a new radiator. I had a hole in the radiator. That was it. And I drive that car all the time now. They gave me my car back. And it's amazing. They could have told me it needed everything under the hood, and I would have believed them. But they are honest. They are reliable. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that it doesn't need. They work on all makes and models as well. Their number, give them a call, 561-245-8101. And you ladies out there, they specialize in helping out the ladies with the cars, because I know a lot of you, your husbands may have passed away, or maybe your dad helped you and you don't have a husband, and you're afraid to go to the mechanic. Champagne Automotive, you can trust them. They'll take very good care of you. I take my daughter's car over there, okay? 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101 for Champagne Automotive Repair. We'll be right back with the Gold Report after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy
Steve
on
Kane
your
Show.
budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey, John.
They have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire.
Hey there.
Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show, live in Morning Drive on 1470 AM and 95.3 FM.
All right, it is that moment that we all wait for on The Steve Kane Show each morning at this time. The Gold Report brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman, Inc. William, well, the precious metals, that's his field. He is one of the most knowledgeable dealers of the precious metals, really on the planet, and a sponsor of the Steve Kane Show, really for over about 20 years now. And he's been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold market. I think it's over 50 years. Time flies when you're having fun and when you're making money, and that's exactly why we have William Youngerman here to help advise you. Brian, you want to give the...
Yeah, now, hold on one second here. I got William on the line, Steve. We got him on the line. Right. Go ahead, William.
William, oh!
Hello.
This is very exciting. Something must be going on.
Gold up big time yesterday. We actually got up to the $1,800 number that I thought we would this week. Got within $1 of it, $1,799 yesterday. Closing out the day at $1,793.50. That was up $14.70 on gold. Silver making a big move yesterday, up 74 cents. Closing out the day at $26.55 the ounce. While platinum was up $26 at $1,208. And palladium was up $118 at $2,786 the ounce. As one might expect, we got a little bit of a pullback this morning, down $7.50 right now at $1,786.50. Overnight, gold traded in a range of $1,781 to $1,798. Silver down 20 cents right now at $26.35 the ounce, while platinum is unchanged at $1,208. And palladium is down 24 after that big move yesterday at $2,762. So that's so far where we're at this morning, and we closed out the week over $1,800.
Wow.
Exciting, and it's all stuff you have told us about in advance.
Yeah. Yeah. Now listen, also, if you have things made of the metals, you can take them in, get a free appraisal for Steve Kane listeners at William Youngerman, and turn those things into cash, old jewelry, and other things. The number over there is 1-800-327-5010. They open up at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And the address right here in Boca Raton, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. Okay, let's, I guess let's take a call or two. I don't know. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yes, I remember when I was a kid, somebody would have got a hold of that lady that was the substitute teacher in the school cross guard and had her on the news and looked into this stuff real deeply when it started, when it happened, instead of blaming it on gun control and all that stuff. Christ.
You know, I'm losing you here, John. I don't understand what you're talking about. I hear some words, but I don't understand the point. Yeah, I know the lady that was the teacher in crossing guard at Parkland. Yes, I know. I heard that part, but I don't get what your point is.
Years ago, news people got a hold of her on the day it happened, or somebody like her, and looked into this thing really in depth instead of ignoring the important parts of it. The real news would have gone.
Well, no, the thing is, yeah. I don't know if the news ever was what we think it used to be. I think that the news there's more of it now. We watch more news than we used to because back in the days when it didn't seem so bad, it wasn't on 24 hours a day.
I'm going to guess I'm going to have to keep saying this till I'm blue in the face because it doesn't seem to be registering. The problem is not the news. The problem is what's going on and the news cycle. And in fact, I can promise you in another couple of weeks, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the reality is, a couple of weeks from now, whatever it is, when Donald throws his hat back into the ring and it becomes official, you're going to not feel the same way about the news because what you're going to hear is going to be up and give you reason for hope and encouragement and all this kind of...
Yeah.
We're just in a Joe Biden news cycle. So how are you going to feel good?
No, it's more than that. It's more than that. I'm going to give you an example. There was there's a couple of stories. Now, there's been a change in the way the government is handling people. They're taking rights away from us. There's two stories yesterday that show you there's been a big change here. It's not just the news cycle and what they put on to fill their time. There was two stories yesterday that are chilling. There was a story of a police officer who was fired because he donated money to that Rittenhouse Defense Fund. You know, the kid that shot the people that day? And it was a private donation through a private organization, and there was some type of hack done, and the names of the donors got released. Guy's lost his job because he donated a few dollars to the. By the way, donating to a defense fund doesn't mean you agree or support them necessarily. We all should agree that people are entitled to a fair trial but he was fired. Then there's another story today. The Postal Service is this is in Yahoo News. The Postal Service is running a covert operations program monitoring Americans' social media posts. They have the post office spying on us now. And we're in a different era. We're like we're like in a police state now. And it's more than just what's on the news. It's what the Democrats are doing is far beyond anything they've done before, Steve. I mean, yeah. The mice shall play.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I mean, I have the same problem you did. I get up in the morning, it's depressing.
Well, it's upsetting. Yeah. But Steve, we got, we're 100 and some days into this Biden reign, and Trump's not coming back till 2024. And I mean, what's it?
No. But he's not going to be back.
Yeah.
Become active in the news a lot sooner than that.
Yeah.
you'll get a fresh and exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's time to check in with Richard Pearl, whose show, Richard Pearl on Politics, follows the Steve Kane Show weekdays at 9 a.m. on this radio station. Richard Pearl, good morning. Yeah.
Related to the current.
Yeah. Unless you're the governor of Michigan, you can put your state under lockdown and travel interstate all you want, like Whitmer just got busted doing, coming to Ron DeSantis' Florida here. None. Well, just on our shows. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. None. 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 No. If Richard Nixon was a Democrat, Watergate never would have been reported about. You know, that's the way it works. Now listen, time is short, but do not touch your radio dial. Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, is up next on this radio station. Whichever station you're listening to us on, Richard Pearl will be there in just a couple of minutes. Now, his store, Simply Natural, with all the great nutraceuticals that Richard Pearl talks about so often, is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the number, 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. Have a great show, Richard Pearl. We'll be tuned in. All right, take care. And we're out of time, Steve. You want to sign us off? No.
We will take you out. And we will be back. Don't worry. Don't despair. 6 a.m. tomorrow. Brian will be back. And maybe there'll be some good news tomorrow. Who knows? On behalf of Tyler Kane, our technical director, Brian Craig, our executive.
Oh, yes.
Yours truly, Steve Kane. Till tomorrow. Better days ahead. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, that's it. Look out for my podcast later today. And before you go, okay, do me a favor. One, like the video, okay? If you could, like the video. That helps a lot. And also, make sure you're subscribed, all right? But liking the video helps tremendously, too, so don't forget to like the video as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching.